Mm.
Welcome to the Comedy and Mushroom Cult podcast. I'm Ray Roberts. That's Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe Briggs. I don't know where this comes from. Comedy popping right off the top of the top
Oh,
head
man.
there.
You take one nap and you're the president. You hate to see it.
You take one nap, wake up with a stroke, and you wake up the president. Hate to see
then-
it.
And my handler's like, "You have a podcast," and I'm like, "What?" And then I
What's
do
a
it still.
podcast? It has been what, 2.5 weeks since we recorded something?
Has it really? Who was the last one? Angela? Really?
Yeah, Angela was the last one, and like we had plans to record one in person when I was in town, but I was a big nerd and left after my shows.
Oh, that's right. Did we actually
Now
have
it's
solid plans? I don't think we did.
No, it was like we made, when you're like right before you're about to like have sex with like a new girl that you like a lot, and whatever you just did is not good. I don't know if you just plugged something in or something.
It just
But
started
there's like a
making
weird noise.
To be honest with you.
It could be your whatever you just moved it's
It
fine
was
though.
just the input cable, so maybe that's going.
Okay. Well, but like when you're, or like even you're in like a new relationship and you're like, do
Mhm.
you know what? I love everything that you talk about. Like you're like at that high of like, yeah, let's go hiking all the time. I love hiking. And then like 3 months in you're like, I actually really don't like hiking. I just liked you a lot 3 months ago. And that's kind of what happened on our podcast is we were just like having such a good time. And then we were like, we're going to do this every day for the rest of our lives, especially in person. And then when like we got to that time, we're like, we're all real tired and busy and a little cranky from driving throughout the day. I don't want to do podcasting.
Wow, I just want to say the feeling's not mutual. I still have the most fun every time we do this, and I'm heartbroken.
No, I have the most fun
No,
when
I'm
we're
just
doing it, but I'm talking about that podcast. Like we were like, oh
No,
shit,
we were
like
just
sorry, we have to
gassed.
go.
Yeah.
Let's just like let's just commit to like we're gonna marry Angelo being on our podcast every episode. And then it was like, oh shit, like we didn't really plan to do it. And
We
then
didn't
I
plan, period. That was on
yeah,
me. Yeah.
it's on both of us. It happens. Life happens. But what's new with you, Joseph?
Uh, damn, dude. I don't even know. I was just gonna be like, I wrote some new jokes, and that's pretty much it. But that sounds like it's too sad.
What
They're
are your
good
jokes
jokes.
about?
There's one
Just
that says,
premises. Don't do the setup, don't do the punchline. I just want base premises, and then I'm gonna do my impression of every single person after I tell them a premise.
my favorite one base premise is when I went to buy a car with my dad.
That doesn't, I don't think that sounds very funny, but I mean maybe I just need to see it live.
It's like that. Not only is that impression of every person that hears a premise, it's like every person that you do the joke to. They're like, I don't know. And then you do it live, and they're like, I was wrong. I guess I only know how to write jokes in my voice. And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Dude, that's why I hate writing jokes with people is because you'll be like, all right, this is the joke. And they'll be like, it's not funny. And then you like go and you do it where like on stage where like jokes are supposed to be told. And they're like, oh, that actually was a good idea. And you're like, yeah, it's not funny at a fucking bar at 1:30 in the
No.
afternoon on a Wednesday. It's
It's
funny
like
in front of other people.
the dumbest joke I would, for like 3 months, I was just pitching it to people. I was like, I think I'm just going to recap the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hearing it. Quit bumping the cord, dude.
I'm not going to move ever again. But yeah, dude, when I was trying to pitch that Herbie joke to people, everybody was like, it sounds like a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
Yeah,
So,
and that's like literally that's almost I didn't stop writing, but like I'll like write like the bones of a joke and then I'll like when I'm on stage cuz like you know how like things are firing up there, like your brain's like in that almost panic survival mode. So you're like my fucking Jesus joke closer that I haven't told in 3 weeks cuz I'm trying to like write new stuff and like you're
didn't
just
you do
like
it? You didn't do it here?
I didn't do it at all in Akron. Like
Really?
4 banger sets, didn't do that joke once.
Well,
Yeah, like my usual Jesus joke. Like I did like the Creed one. That's like just like a good quick like minute joke that like I'm saving. I think that would be like a good one to share on like a Reels or something like that, but I think that that's a very good like live joke.
where? Also, wait. Are you in Wisconsin this weekend?
I'm in Wisconsin all the time. That's where I live.
I think I'm gonna be pretty close to you for a show. I'm gonna be in Sandusky.
That's not close at all.
It's like an hour closer.
I mean, it isn't. I mean, it
like
would
if
only
you're
take me
around,
6.5 hours to get there.
if you're around, man, I'm just saying I'm gonna be pretty close. I'm gonna be in the neighborhood.
That's my favorite. Is like I'll be. I was talking to Tyler Ross, who lives in Chicago. That's an hour and a half away from here. Which like I drive an hour and a half regularly to do like 5 minutes, and I'm like, and I'm like, hey
You
man,
just
I'm
call it
gonna
a
be.
mosquito.
Hey, check you out, solving malaria. You're like you're a real life Bill Gates,
What? Just sad and divorced?
but killing mosquitoes to get
Yeah.
rid of malaria.
Oh.
But no, I'm like going to like Zanies in Rosemont next one or
There's
2 weeks from now.
there's one in
And
Is
like
that a chain?
yeah, Zanies, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought the only one was in Nashville.
There's one in Nashville, there's one in Chicago, there's one in Rosemont, and I think
Oh
there's
shit.
another one. So like that's why I'm kind of like excited to get in there and do it. But this is gonna be a comedy heavy podcast because we haven't talked in 2 weeks, and the only thing both of us have done is comedy in 2 weeks.
No,
What else have you done?
you're making fun of me.
What?
So I put that dumb PowerPoint on. First of all, I asked a girl out using a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I've been pro. For those of you who don't understand, Joe Briggs is Cleveland famous for a PowerPoint for asking girls out.
Well, it was real. It wasn't supposed to be a joke. I mean, it actually was to ask her out, and then she said
Nobody said it was
no.
a joke.
Yeah, no, she said. Well, everyone was like, "There's so many people that were like, well, this isn't real at least," and I was like, "It's very real." But I don't know. Now there's like some like talking to some girl that saw the PowerPoint. I was like, I like this.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that I mean, not to get like woo-woo nonsense, but like that was like one of the big things that I kind of learned from my Akron weekend is like you can just be like you and not have to worry about like what everybody else is gonna think about it, and then like people will either fuck with you or not. You know what I mean? Like you
You
thought it
learned
was
that.
cool to put up a PowerPoint, like asking a girl out on a date, or like you thought that was a good idea. That girl didn't think it was a good idea, and now you found a girl who was like, "This is a genius idea."
Yeah, the universe is fucking weird
It is weird.
and
Like I went
unsettling.
back to the place. I was nervous to go back to Akron because I was like, you know what? Maybe they won't like me, or they'll like think like I was afraid that I would like snap back into like just being like a dickhead the entire weekend. But it was like the most fun I've ever had in Akron, and I lived there for like 15 years.
It is weird how I feel like you have more an influence on the scene in Akron now that you're not here. It's very weird to me.
Yeah, it's always one of those. Yeah, like I got back. Like I had 4 of the best sets of my life. Still somehow
Sorry
didn't
about
win
it.
best of fest, but like it is what it is. And like I was like salty about it for like a hot second. Like I'm gonna be honest, that I was like real salty about it. And then I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like I went back. I've got 3 shows on tape that are like great that I'm gonna clip up and I'm gonna be able to send out to places. I looked really good
3?
at a club that I've worked before. I like everybody there. Like I hung out with Josh Volchko and his wife for hours, and me and like Volchko were always like buds, but like we're like close now. And it was just like I went back and like almost like exercised a bunch of like demons for like the last 5 years, and it's like I didn't need a stupid fucking trophy anyways. Like honestly, the trophy was the friends we made along the way.
Wow.
I know.
End scene.
No, like, and it's one of those, like, and it's not even an act. Like, that was like the worst part is I was like, I've been talking a lot of shit of being happy and like trying to be positive, so I'm gonna have to like try real hard to be positive. And like there were like a couple times where like things like snuck in, but then I like got them off my chest, and then I was like, all right, cool. Like I didn't even have to try. It was like
That's
it was awesome.
that's gonna be our clip for the week. It's not gonna be anything funny. It's just gonna be like, and the trophy was the friendships we formed along the way. And then it's just gonna say like, the more you know. That's gonna be our clip for the week.
That's what I put in when I put in the group after like I had left, like once I got back home, I was like my ranking for best of fest was one, Ray Roberts, but objectively. Two, this other guy, Jameel Key, who was very funny on the sets that I saw him do. And then three was the friends we made along the way.
Damn, dude. I love that everyone else was like, I wasn't three. They were like, it's just about the friendships. That's what I would have been like. I would have been like, three's a joke. It's not even me. It's a joke.
Yeah, that's probably what made me not win, honestly, is like a hack thing. But
Okay.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun. The Rubber City Comedy Festival might be a thing that like lasts forever. Like it was literally something that I would make fun of all the time to the people who were planning it, including myself, that like Akron didn't need a comedy festival. And then like it shows up and then it was an absolute blast. Like it was so much fun.
Well, we don't have one up here anymore either, right? There's no Cleveland CCF.
Well, Cleveland Comedy Fest people like made the Akron one, so like they'll bring it back. I think it's coming back in the fall or something.
Oh, they did. It was. Wait, it was the same people.
Yeah, Han Horst and Steve Guy run Cleveland Comedy Festival.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Steve Guy was involved with the Akron one.
Yeah, he was there on. I mean, since you only showed up one day and like didn't care, but he was there on Friday.
I showed up for a good day, and I wasn't even in it. And I drove to Akron. I got a salad. I supported local business. I
That bar
boosted your
that was like
economy.
a very like Blue Lives Matter, like very weird bar to associate with.
Yeah, the bar very weird about vibes about the Blue Lives Matter, but their salads.
Their food was pretty good.
$9 for a Caesar salad with grilled chicken on it. That's what I'm gonna say. You're not gonna get that deal anywhere else.
Summit County is very affordable. It's it's like the Nashville of Ohio, I think. Like people are gonna start moving there.
No.
No, they're not. There's,
Yeah, fuck
there's,
that shit. Like,
there's no
they're
there's no
definitely not.
industry. Could you imagine like if the funny stop started becoming like the Zanies in Nashville? Like we're like
It's like
like
nationally revered.
yeah, like they have like people there. Like could you imagine people taking that seriously?
No.
It is what it is. It was a blast though. Like it was even Pete was in a good mood because like everybody involved made money. All the crowds were great. I guess the Saturday shows both sold out. Like
Yeah, I heard
Friday night
Saturday
was
was
fucking
amazing.
banger.
Yeah.
Like it was great.
I heard Friday first one sold out, second one didn't sell out, but it was still like a banger of a crowd.
Yeah, like the whole weekend was great. Like I mean, sure that like the Blue Lives Matter bar wasn't like the best place for a show in the entire world. But they were nice and like it was a place to hang. It's somewhere that I probably wouldn't hang out at again, but it's like I don't know. It was a cool enough spot.
I'd go back. That salad was $9. You're not gonna get that deal anywhere else.
Well, yeah, I mean, you live in Lakewood, which is just off-brand Cleveland, where everything like bare minimum, it's $10.
It's a whole dollar. It's a whole dollar difference.
That's
Something
the
about
that's the
45
jumping off
minutes of
point.
gas. 45
And that's
minutes of gas.
11%. That's 11% higher. You're a numbers guy. You know that 11% is a big deal in business.
It's not 11% higher. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So bad at math.
Isn't that your entire job?
My entire job is looking at numbers, and I can't do basic mathematics in my head or even on a calculator sometimes.
Calculators are tough.
What is this conversation turning into? Calculators
Um,
are tough.
did you
Shouldn't
see
do
the
this.
news that since we're vaccinated kings, we we can be part of an indoor chorus?
Well, did you see Ohio's news?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, everything's open June 2nd, and then on top of that, like they're gonna raffle off $1 million to what, like 10 people, so that
I
when
thought it
half
was
your
five.
oh, it's only five,
I
so
think
when
it was
half your
five people. Yeah, if you get one, which makes me think like, hey, is one shot enough? Like, did I get two for no reason? If like one's enough for $1 million, maybe.
I think they're doing just one because like a lot of people only have their first shot right now. But dude, I don't know. So many people are gonna die in Ohio.
It is what it is. I mean, here's the big thing: is like Wisconsin has basically said that like they got rid of the mask mandate like a few weeks ago, but like most businesses still have it, like where you have to
Oh,
go.
really?
Yeah, I mean, and like most restaurants, I mean, the one that we go to all the time, like they're pretty wild and free with it. But also, like the CDC just came out and said if you're vaccinated, you're good to like not wear a mask at all. Like you can just like inside, outside, you don't have to like distance. And I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we're both vaccinated, but like I was hugging people left and right in Akron. I didn't really ask. I was just all about it. I'm vaccinated. Like people have
Yeah,
been doing it anyways, and it like the numbers are just declined regardless. So I don't think it's gonna like be much of a difference.
I think you're right, but it's just like all those old people that are like believe misinformation. I get that like the government's like, well, it's your choice to not get the vaccine, but I was like, yeah, they're still gonna fucking die though, like just because they're dumb. So
Well, I mean, they were gonna die regardless. I mean, if it,
yeah,
like at this point, a year and a half in, like, do we need to keep everything shut down for the lowest common denominator now, which is like dumb people who don't follow instructions? Like at this point, they have to know the risks of not getting
I don't think
vaccinated. So
everybody
it's on
does,
them.
dude. I think they just but like think it's a hoax.
Yeah, but
The
that's
whole
on them. That's 100% on them. Like at
when
this
people
point, the
when pe-
science has proven that the vaccine helps. Cases are down. Like if people don't want to get vaccinated, they're willingly choosing not to get vaccinated, and that's on them.
the most insane part of that argument to me is they were literally burning bodies in the street in India because they're running out of place for dead bodies, and that's just all for a prank that Bill Gates and his friends want to play. That's
I mean,
like
they were doing it in New York, like at the peak, they were doing that in New York too.
they're burning bodies in the street.
Yeah, there was like cremation centers were backed up. Like they like were just
Yeah,
like burning like cremation centers couldn't keep up with how many people were dying.
yeah, I'm blown away by how quick New York's opening too, because they were like the epicenter in the U.S.
Well, I mean, and it's one of those things where, and I've seen it a lot just because, like, at work, like, I do my job and all that stuff, but I like sit on Twitter most of the time.
Brag
And,
about
like,
it.
like, all the believe the science people, as soon as the CDC, who is like the science, like, the CDC is science, and that's who, like, all these believe the science people have been rallying about for a year and a half. As soon as they're like, hey, if you're vaccinated, you're good, they're like, well, let's pump the brakes here. And it's like, well, like you can't like now you just don't want to. Like that's all it is. Just say you don't want to. Like don't it's fine. Nobody's gonna make you go in the world. If you don't want to go in the world, don't go in the world. But now the science is saying it's fine.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Science is weird, man. I don't.
I mean, the science changes, but also like it's not gonna change your life at all because you're out and about anyways.
Sorry. Also, yeah, it's not gonna change my. I'm fully vaccinated, dude. I'm not worried about me. I'm invincible. I could punch a train tomorrow. One
And the
fist.
vaccines are available to everybody. Like I'm not worried about anybody. The vaccines are available. They're free to get pretty much.
Mhm.
They're literally paying people maybe $1 million to get the vaccine. Like it's available. If you don't want to get it, it's on you. We don't need to be closed for the people who don't want to do it.
Is it weird that like when they announced in Ohio that like 5 people are gonna get the $1 million, there was a part of me that was like, I wish less people would have believed in science. I wish we were in more of like a redneck state.
I
So I
mean,
have
you
a
kind of
higher
are in a
bump those
pretty big
odds up.
redneck state.
No, just the south of it. Honestly, yeah, like nobody. If anybody like south of Columbus wins this, I'm gonna be livid.
Dude, they're everywhere. Like people we know, or not we, but like the collective we, like outside of like the suburbs are like worse than like the South. Like these like rich people who only watch Fox News and just like believe that they know better or that like Jesus will save them. Like, cool, man. Like, congrats. I don't know. At this point, it's very hard to like. One of my bosses just got COVID a couple weeks ago, and he was bitching about not having smell or taste. And I was like, our work gave us access to the vaccine like a month and a half ago. I've been fully vaccinated for over a month, and like you were complaining about getting COVID. Like that's on you. At this point, it's on you.
100%. Yeah. So he just didn't get the vaccine.
Yeah, he just decided he was like, I'm not gonna get the vaccine. I think I got the virus a while ago. That counts. And then he like tested positive, and he was like, I really wish I had my like taste and smell back. And I was like, you should have just gotten vaccinated. Like, I don't give a shit because it's not gonna hurt me at all because I'm vaccinated, and most of the people I'm around are vaccinated. So like, at this point,
The,
you're just hurting yourself and your family. Like
the
that's on you.
the most insane thing about this is everybody was like, dude, everybody that's not getting the vaccine was like, and I'm pretty sure I had it. And I
Yeah.
was like, you'd fucking know if you had it. Like 9 times out of 10, you'd fucking know. It was pretty awful. Like, I don't know. Somebody was talking about that yesterday on our porch, and I was just like, I don't fucking like you didn't. If you think you had it, you didn't have it. You'd know.
Well, and especially like when I worked at an RV store when it like all started popping off like real bad. And we had a meeting and the guy, like my GM legit goes, well, I guess this is real. And it was like, yeah, dude, they've been talking about it for months being real, like overseas. Like it's not like a
Yeah.
fake thing.
I mean, when it happened, like when we got sent, like my old job, I worked in an office, and when we got sent home to work from home indefinitely, like one of our managers was like, I give this 2-3 weeks tops. And I was like, no, it's gonna be a very long time.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, it's one of those like they should have just nipped it in the bud. I mean, it's easy to look back at it now and be like, "Hey, we should have just shut down for like 2 weeks or a month or whatever
yeah.
and figured it out." But I mean, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's after seeing. I mean, I know India's not like the U.S. Like, no shade to India or anything like that, but
Actually,
like
little shade to India.
little shade to India.
This
But like
podcast
it's
isn't afraid to take a bold stance.
but it's like it's one of those
Just
things
kidding.
where like everybody's like America's the only country that had this big of a problem with it, and then India was like, all right, hold my beer, like we're just gonna like it's gonna
Oh, you
be
want to see a problem?
yeah, like now I kind of was like, all right, I guess we kind of did a decent job. Like Italy like was like destroyed for a while, but like everybody's like we're the worst, and it's like, well, let's calm down like a tad bit.
Yeah.
And I
India's
saw
yeah. India's
Well,
the
I saw
worst.
a political cartoon. It was like when like the Spanish flu happened or whatever in like 1918, and it was like there was like anti-vax like propaganda up or like people who were trying to like it was like some cartoon shaming people to get vaccinated that they were sharing and they're like history repeats itself. But I like shared it and I was like, wait, did we all survive this or was it like the end of the world because a small amount of shitheads didn't want to get vaccinated? Because it seems like we did pretty well for another 100 years after that. And
Yeah.
it was just like this is the same. It's the same thing. Like people just want to be afraid of something.
That's the other crazy thing too, is like when people will say it's like people that are anti-vaxxers who don't believe in science usually that I've heard this from, where they'll be like, there's gonna be a new pandemic every year now. I was like, that's what? Like, yeah, it's a new pandemic every year. It's gonna mutate, and this is it. This is the world. And I'm like, dude, you really are like doubling down on not believing in science by trying to
Because of
put like
no,
fake
I hear a
science.
lot of people like saying that like because of global warming, there's going to be a new like this was the shot across the bow, and like maybe I'm just like stupid, but I don't see what global warming has to do with this virus.
It's the ice caps.
Yeah, like that's. Have you seen the polar bear with no ice cap to be on? Like
When was
he's the
the
one.
Here, point in case, when was the last time you saw the icy mascot?
Yeah, that's
When
true.
was the last time you saw that old Cavs mascot? What was his name? Boomer?
Fucking
You know what I'm talking about? The polar bear?
yeah, I know who you're talking about. We
Whammer.
have the internet.
Whammer.
Is that
Whammer.
what it was?
Pretty sure it was Whammer.
Cavs polar bear. Yeah, Whammer.
Boom. That was
Look
the
at
best
you.
mascot we ever had.
Well, the only white polar bear ever seen in Cleveland was the longtime mascot of the Cavs during the 1990s. Whammer proved to be a poor floor leader and was never able to inspire the team or fans. In the late 90s,
That's my fucking
Whammer
guy.
started missing games and was eventually asked to leave his position.
That's my guy. Love him.
Whammer was replaced. Yeah, like I remember one of the first Cavs games I went to, like whatever the dogs' names are now at the Cavs games.
Oh, Moondog?
Moondog or whatever, but like the people who walk around with him to like make sure that they like go to the right spot had
Oh, his
like
handlers?
yeah, the animal control outfits on. The first time I saw that, I fucking lost it. I was like so excited.
The animal control outfit? Oh, that's right. They do wear animal control.
It's so fucking stupid, dude. Like you're just but it's so funny. You're like, "Oh man, if I was like a 7-year-old, I'd be like this commitment to the bit makes me like think that Moondog's real."
What's the what's that mascot everybody always talks about, the hockey one?
Oh, the Philadelphia
Flyers?
Philly guy.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That's the greatest mascot I've ever seen, because that's like just somebody gave up on their job.
Not the
It was
San
like,
Diego Chicken. Do you remember the San Diego Chicken?
chicken's good, but God, what's this thing's name? The name's even perfect too.
Gritty.
Gritty.
Uh, I had a random 1990s San Diego Chicken hype tape that like my parents bought me for some reason. It was the most weird, like, and we would watch it regularly.
How hype was it?
It was like like you know that bum 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 bum, like it would like crack out of the egg and then like dance around and strut around and like fuck around with the managers and the other baseball team, and it is like a tape that we regularly watched in the Roberts household. I'm gonna
It's
see
very
if
funny
maybe
to
I
me.
can find
You
that.
guys are like, it's Thursday night, Dad's picking up the pizza. Pop in the old DVD VHS.
And then you pop it into the bum 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 bum.
Pop in the VHS player, and it's 2.5 hours. Hits nonstop, all to that same song.
All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I don't know if this is the full video, but
San Diego
Can I
Chicken.
run up the Wi-Fi
Fucking
at my
ads.
son's treehouse?
If that's where you get your freelancing.
Turbo Thing. Just wide.
all right, we're gonna cut the sound because I didn't realize it was that loud.
It's so loud. The sound makes it.
But like this, but it was like 90 minutes of this video.
Imagine this exact clip. It's like the bird just shined the umpire's shoes, and then the bird threw a tantrum. It'd be so much more fun if that was like a problematic character of an Italian man with that same reaction.
That was something. The Italians need to calm down a little bit.
Why now? Or is this just a general statement?
It's a general statement. We were at the cigar bar on Friday, and John Brown kept bringing up like, as somebody who has like Italian descent, and I'm like, calm down. Like Italians are just white people who are mad they can't say the N-word anymore.
It's the funniest thing about that to me is his name is the least sounding Italian name I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just not like Brownziani. It's like John Brown.
But it was just like a very like I love going to Italian festivals, and I was like, yeah, dude, I can go. I went to like the Olive Garden before. Like I get Italian culture. Like we all get it. Like yeah, they
We
were mean to
all
you when you first got here. Like it's fine.
that is like legitimately my favorite thing to do to make Italians mad is when they're like, "What's your favorite Italian restaurant?" Just like really hammer home that it's the Olive Garden because they're like, "That's not Italian food." They
I
get
mean, it
like snobby
basically
about their
is.
food. It is. They got breadsticks. They got all you can eat soup. Oh my god,
There's salad bangs. Like there's
salad
nothing wrong
slaps.
with there's nothing wrong with it. Will you quit bumping that cord? This is the worst episode of a podcast of all time.
I don't know why. I just unplugged everything and plugged it back in.
What,
Is it
like
working?
so I just blew out everybody's eardrums with the San Diego chicken. You've had people ringing in people's ears all the time. We've talked about calculators.
And the pandemic, we were like, you know what, people need to hear. Fuck me.
You know, people were right. We probably should have had a point to this entire podcast.
Here's what I think about people. Screw them. All right, they're all pigs. Feed them slop.
They
They're
deserve
gonna-
it.
Yeah, all this episode is gonna do is make them appreciate the good ones.
Yeah, we need like a good palate cleanser every once in a while. We've
Yeah.
been spoiling these people lately.
Yeah, we got Sleepy Joe coming on. We got Ray from Wisconsin. I don't know why I took the whiz off and thought it'd be funner. It
I
wasn't.
do like Sconsin. I like Sconsin better than people call it Wisco up here, and I like Sconsin a lot better.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with that.
They call it Wisco.
Yeah, some people do.
Wisconsin slaps.
There was a joke that I was telling for a hot second when I was doing a lot of PA shows where I would do like the OH and then see if anybody yelled IO, and then if like one or two people did, I'd be like, hell yeah. Everybody, I know we're in Pennsylvania, but you're just jealous nobody knows how to spell your state. And it was like, even though Pennsylvania is not like Mississippi or whatever, and I'd be like, who knows nobody even knows what a keystone is. Like our state's so easy to spell, we like made a whole chant about it. Like I could do it here, but like one, it wasn't a good bit when I did it, and two, it was like it's just like a very dumb. Like I can't be like people call it Wisco, and then my big closer now is gonna be like, thank you, I'm Ray from Wisconsin.
I personally think you should start doing it. I think it's going to add a lot. It's going to add a rich texture to your set. That
Is this
Got
you
layers.
trying to like gaslight me into bombing next time I'm in town with that joke?
that's the podcast now. I think we just gaslight each other into being worse at comedy until people stop listening to the podcast altogether.
I did that with I was texting Tyler today, and I made a joke because I was like, hey, I'm at the Zanies in Rosemont. He goes, I know it's that one. I was like, well, I didn't want you to show up to the Chicago Zanies and me be at the Rosemont Zanies, and then we're both in like a big zany situation.
Who was this?
Tyler Ross.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was in Chicago.
But I was like, I don't want this to be a zany situation. And then he was like, I'm not gonna dignify that with an answer. And then I just texted back. I was like, this guy gets it.
Pretty zany.
just doing hack jokes in text is the most fun.
Oh man,
This guy knows what I'm saying.
that joke's a banger. Banger. Never even heard of her. Hey.
Yo, I like that would like pop up with like words that wouldn't even make sense. And after that one night, I had to stop stop myself from just hitting it real hard.
Dude, that you didn't have to deal with me because like Graham and I drove there on the drive home. I was getting abysmal. He'd be like, "Yeah, that was a pretty good time," and I'd be like, "Time? Never heard of her." He'd be like, "It doesn't even work anymore."
It's a good joke. It goes away. It comes back. Like it'll come back around.
Some people will say that I'm a hack, and they're right, but I'm the best hack
The
this
best
side of
hack.
the Mississippi.
That's something that they need to do is like have like a hack off. Like roast jokes, but like actual
Hacky
hack
ones?
jokes. Because roast jokes suck. Let's all be on the same page that roasting is just being mean for people who can halfway write a joke. Like people who
Yeah.
like being mean and like no joke structure. That's what roasting is. But like hack jokes, like if you do like a hack joke that like it would still need to be funny to a certain like to a certain point. And then you just have to be like, all right, that's a very hack joke. That needs to be a new thing.
Yeah, but then you get people that are just purposely writing hack jokes a lot.
Yeah, people would just write like there was that subsection of Cleveland comics that were just writing roast jokes all the time, and then they'd go on like regular shows and try to tell roast jokes or like try to like roast people in the crowd and shit. Like
When did that end? Because I never was around for any of the roasting stuff.
it kind of just like died. It was like the same time that lip syncing happened. Like do you remember when like people were like lip syncing songs or whatever for like the longest time?
In person?
They were like people were trying to like make it a thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah, somebody did that at like a sketch show one time? Like their entire sketch set was them lip syncing different songs, and I was like furious.
yeah, and like so they were trying to do that. It was about the same time, but then like that kind of group, like every once in a while they would bring it back, and people would be like, "Oh, so excited!" Like, and I'm bad at roasting, so of course this is gonna come off as like me hating roasting because I'm bad at it, like which is part of it. But also, it's just like not entertaining for anybody who's not like friends with those people.
Yeah, that's why it only works when you do it to like famous people because everybody gets the jokes,
Or if it's
right?
like a very like if you're very good at it, sure. But like I don't need to see like
Well, if
I
you're
don't
like Don Rickles, like you're good.
yeah. Or
Right.
even like I liked when Jess Falstick did the toast prattle, like where you would go and like you would write like good roasts, like you would do compliments. And it was just so much fun because you're like, oh, I get to like compliment this person, but also try to make it funny.
I like that a lot, actually. I wish I could do that. She's in
Dude,
LA
me and
now, right?
Dylan
So it's
Lusk, like I did it. It was me, Dylan Lusk, and then me and Adam Janovac did it once, and like both of them were just brilliant. Like between both of us, like it was so fun.
that's like my because I don't like being mean to people. You want me to be nice to somebody though? Fuck.
Dude, it was a blast. Like it was in the basement of Bar Louie too, like right
Oh
on what is that, 4th Street or 6th Street?
yeah, yeah. Downtown Sixth. Yeah, I heard about those shows.
Dude, it was so much fun.
That'd be a sweet place for sure. Do they still do any shows there? Do you know or no?
Not that I know of. It's been, I mean, that's been a couple years since she's been in LA. It's been a couple years, so
Might have to hit up Barloo and be like, hey, want to do a show?
that's a good
Dates.
spot down there for one.
They didn't like kick him out or anything. They just stopped doing it, right?
I think they just stopped doing it, but like it's also a weird spot. Like nobody's just gonna happen to go into that show. Like you would have to like actually draw people to that show.
Yeah, it's hard to get to as well, like in park and stuff.
Well, I mean, when they did it, it would be like Saturday afternoon or something. Like it wasn't like a nighttime show, so like
Oh,
the
that makes it a
parking was
lot better.
free.
Yeah. I mean, we got that green trail now, so I can take that. Did you see that?
No.
It's like a 2.5, 3 mile trail that's just like a walking trail that goes straight into downtown, I think.
Oh, really? From Lakewood?
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
from the west side. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They finished it like this weekend. It goes like straight to Ohio City, I think. I think it goes over a bridge actually, and then it ends because you're like downtown.
Interesting.
Yeah, so lots changed since you were here last. I
Yeah,
don't think
maybe that'll
you're
help
gonna
like the
recognize it.
parking situation.
I mean, we have trains, and people just forget about that until the Cavs go to the NBA Finals. And then they're like, "Yeah, we'll take the train."
I usually do that for when I do when I go to Browns games. I'll park in Lakewood, take the train downtown because it's like $10 or whatever.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about parking or anything like that, and then you just take it right to Tower City and then walk the rest of the way. Or you can
yeah,
get off at that other train station that's right outside of the stadium.
yeah. I that's like the one in Lakewood's like you could walk there from my place.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Around the corner. Great bar. No, I fucking hate that bar. I'm just kidding. It's the worst.
I don't know that bar. Oh, was there? There used to be a mic there, right?
Yeah, it was Moynihan's.
I did one set there. I did one set there ever, and like it got me booked on the Polk show. Because like they moved everybody, like everybody was in the back except for comedians, and then they went and got like they bribed the entire table that moved up front with shots. So the only reason they came up to watch the show was that they bought them shots, and of course they bought them shots during my set. So then they like start heckling me, so I had to like rein them in, and then like the show went off. And then your boy Jimmy Graham was like, "Hey, that was really good," and I was like, "Thanks, very high Jimmy Graham." And then he like told me to text him and get on Mike Polk's show. And then when I got there, he was like, "I don't really know who you are," and it's like, "That's fine, man. You asked me to be on a show."
Yeah. So funny. Dude. He's like he's someone that would, like, if you had to do a roast battle, would just eviscerate you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it too much. I mean, yeah, he'd be like, "This fat piece of shit likes to do fat piece of shit things," and then people would be like,
Is that how your crowds laugh in Wisconsin? With an accent?
like, "I want to get on Mike Polk's show, so we better say this is funny."
Dude, I miss that show a lot.
Yeah, they're doing like a one night only, aren't they?
I know, I'm gonna go hang out, but I miss it being every week. I don't think they're gonna open that cabaret room anytime soon because it's too small. Too small.
Well, if you're vaccinated, you can be inside. They can have a
I'm vaccinated.
chorus. Yeah, you can have a chorus there. Do you want me to send you this Whammer t-shirt?
Yeah.
You can get your own Whammer t-shirt
Finally.
for the small price of $32 if you wear a small, medium, or large.
$32.
Yeah, for a t-shirt for a mascot from the 90s. Chris Clem would probably jump on this opportunity.
What is I don't know if I should talk to you outside the podcast about this. There's another comedy club opening.
Where?
Rubber City Comedy Club? Is this real?
Oh, that's your boy Kettler. Is he finally opening it?
Yeah. The logo looks like absurdly similar to the one for Rubber City Comedy Festival.
Yeah, there was like there was going to be like he said that he had Rubber City Comedy like trademarked or some shit, but like he didn't really. Like it was like a whole thing. Where is it? Where are you seeing this? Is this on
It was
Facebook?
like he invited me to it on Facebook.
Interesting. Send it to me. Message it to me. I want to look at it. We can talk about it. Where's it at?
I don't know anything. I just got the notification on my phone and I was like, "What's up?" Yeah, I don't think it has a location.
Yo, this dude straight up made this logo like on Canva.
And honestly, like if you took out the emoji, it's not a bad logo.
Really? I mean, the logo is what kills it, honestly.
And straight up made it on Canva.
Who is liking and following this? 16 of my friends are liking and liking it.
Every comic's gonna like it.
I don't know. I bet you people will do it. I mean, especially now that like a bunch of them are like people from out of town that I'm friends with. Or people who have like been who can't do the funny stop. I mean, that's the thing about comedy is like you're gonna like there's always gonna be a hole for something like this because there's gonna be a bunch of people who like, and this is objectively, like it's not like being bitter or anything like that. Like they're not good enough to do like the club that they started at or whatever. They're not people that anybody wants to do shows with, like just because they're either just like they don't show up to things on time or like they're just a train wreck to work with,
Yeah.
and like they're just gonna gravitate to the spot that's like we'll take anybody, and then they just put on terrible shows.
But I just don't understand how they are able to keep doing it. It's always crazy to me.
There's a sucker born every day. I mean, it's one of those things that like as long as he goes in and finds other bars and shit like that, like it's not like if he doesn't go to the same spot twice, you know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, he's got tons of shit. I don't know. The whole thing's very weird to me, but it doesn't matter.
And yeah, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter. I'll never have to worry about it. Like that's my biggest thing is like that's why I stopped
Comedy and Mushroom
caring
Comedy
about it.
Club.
I don't think it's a real comedy club. I think he's just gonna be one of those floating things that like
Oh. It has a banner instead of Funny Noises. It's now Rubber City Comedy Club.
probably, or like one of those like how I would not equate Funny Farm to this at all because Dave Robich isn't a shady piece of shit. But like they kind of like floated from like venue to venue for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like they have a couple different spots, so like they might be putting it on or whatever. But I mean, there was another comedy club that was in Chapel Hill. It was like tucked in a corner in Chapel Hill. You know, like where the Chapel Hill Mall is at in Akron.
I didn't know Chapel Hill was in Akron. I was expecting North Carolina, to be honest with
No,
you.
there's like the Chapel Hill Mall. It's like in the Chapel Hill's like one of the cities. It's like there's a mall there. I know I keep saying mall.
Say it again.
But
Whisper it too.
yeah, but there's like a shoe store, like a Payless. It was in like a little strip mall, where not he, but like where somebody started like a
Oh, yeah.
jazz and comedy club.
Yeah.
And like it was just notorious for just being bad shows. And I had talked to a couple people who had done shows there, and then it just like died a couple months later. So like shit like this is always gonna pop up, but it's like as much as like people want to complain about the Funny Stop and Pete's like a pain in the ass to deal with sometimes, like he runs a
Been
pretty
around.
good business.
Yeah. It's obviously stuck around and made it through a pandemic.
Sorry, I just had to share that with another gentleman. I didn't realize that it was like an official thing because I'd kept hearing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it is what it is. But I don't know. That's fun.
What's like a zinger we can go out on? We have 10 minutes. Let's give them what they're paying for.
They're not paying a single dollar for this.
Harrison is.
Harrison is. Hey, Harrison, what I need you to do is stop paying for this for a hot second because I want to change the Patreon so more people can like get the video or whatever and just like make it one price. But since Harrison is subscribed to the one tier, I can't change it. And like
Wait,
otherwise
really?
I'd have to like block him. And like I know that like the business model isn't like, hey, give away like or it's not good business to be like, hey, one person who's going to keep paying us monthly and hasn't complained about it at all. I'm going to stop you from paying me money, but like, I want it to be a lower price. So, stop paying for it for like a minute, Harrison, and let me know when I'm not going to text you. Like I have your phone number and I know you personally and I love you very much as a person, but I'm not going to text you. I'm going to test to see how far into these podcasts you listen. And when you text me that you unsubscribe for a minute, that's when I'll change the pricing of the Patreon.
This is I said let's go out on a banger and you go, all right, let's destroy our customer base of one. Let's take the money we're not making and stop it. Completely. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Great Clips is probably livid right now.
If they would pay us, we would be able to do like That'd be so cool. If somebody wants to sponsor us,
You can
we're
find us
open.
at greatclips.com.
Yeah, go to Great Clips. Get a haircut.
I would say get a fresh cut, but you're not. No, it's just a haircut.
Yeah, because Fresh Cuts is another place. I would also say don't get a Fiesta cut because Fiesta Cuts is another place. You're gonna need to go get a Great Clip from Great Clips.
You know what I just like looked up?
What?
Is thegreatclips.com taken?
Is it? I like your pineapple hat.
Thanks, man. It was a free hat. It is.
So,
taken
oh, this is what we started our conversation. See, I told you we left good shit on the
on
table.
the table.
We were having like a great conversation about your long sleeve tee.
Yeah, Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews long sleeve tee. When did you go to this concert?
Summer 2018. It says it on the shirt.
Was it in was it
Blossom, baby.
at Blossom?
Yep.
What was the Dave Matt? So you said it was a girl that you were dating that you went for. What
Yeah.
was that like? Because I had a girlfriend in the past that was super into Dave Matthews, and I told her we could go, and if she bought the ticket and enough drugs for me to deal with Dave Matthews Band, which is not enough. Like I would probably overdose on something to deal with it. But what was that like getting dragged to that concert?
I mean, I had a good time. I went. It was like the middle of summer, so I just wore a t-shirt. Thought it was gonna be cool. And when the sun went down, it was freezing. And hoodies were like $80, so I bought this shirt. And it's wildly comfy, and I wear it on laundry days. But I always forget that it's a Dave Matthews shirt, and people like love to hate this band. Like I'm not a fan, but I like relate to the fans because people just shit on it when I'm wearing a t-shirt. You know what I mean?
People and I'm maybe one of the few, like I'm in the gray area on them. Like I like a couple of their songs. Like
Yeah.
if you catch me in the right mood and like Ants Marching comes on, like I'm down. Like I'm completely down with that. It's maybe, but if it pops up on like my playlist, we're skipping it because I don't give a fuck. But like if I'm like somewhere and somebody's like Ants Marching comes on at a restaurant, I'm like, you know what? I haven't listened to Dave Matthews Band in a while.
No, it was good. I got like I drank a good amount. It was a good time. But it was Dave Matthews. I don't know. I didn't
Did
like
you go to
hate it.
high school with anybody who was like super? Because like my graduating class was like super into Dave Matthews. Like I knew at least 3 people who had that like dancing lady tattoo on the back of their arm.
We were on like a party bus, and it was like
You took a party bus to the Dave Matthews Band concert?
I didn't organize it, but yeah.
Was this a bachelorette party?
No, it was like a bunch of dudes from high school that I hadn't seen since high school, and I somehow got like they heard I was going, and so we ended up splitting. Like me and this girl hopped on the bus. She wanted to see Dave Matthews, so I bought tickets, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, these guys want to know if we should want to be on the party bus," and she was like, "Oh yeah, Dave Matthews is the best with the party bus." I was like, "I don't know anything about Dave Matthews."
I bet you she didn't say Dave Matthews. She said Dave.
She
That's
said
the thing
Dave.
that gets me. They don't say Dave Matthews Band. They go Dave,
Dave.
which makes me upset. That's what I don't like. You're not on a first name basis with Dave Matthews and his band. They all work very hard. There's 1,000 of them. Like Lumineers, get the fuck out. This is Dave Matthews Band.
And
We've got
when I-
400 people.
Yeah, when I walk up and I say Dave Matthews, not Dave Matthews Band and not Dave. I cut it down the middle and I go Dave Matthews. They're like, he's a cop. He doesn't get the street vibes.
It's like when you go see like Hootie and the Blowfish, and when Darius Rucker was like doing his own thing, and he was like, and they're like Hootie, and he's like, no, I'm Darius Rucker because Hootie and the Blowfish need their earn. Like the Dave Matthews Band needs like, yeah, I know they need their earn isn't the way you say it, but like they've earned their keep. But like the Dave Matthews Band is the whole experience. You don't go see Dave.
Yeah. Also, like that was like I think it was like one of those things where they couldn't think of a name, so they just called it Dave Matthews Band. But like that band is insanely talented. Like they have like one of the best drummers in the world. I will say that.
Yeah, they've got like I saw a 60 Minutes piece on it a while back, and I know that we want to leave on a banger, and nothing says banger like 60 Minutes piece about Dave.
Uh,
But
that's how Gary Goldman ended his comedy special with the 60 Minutes joke.
is it? I love 60 Minutes, dude.
Yeah, he did that. That was a really good special. If you haven't watched it, it's on HBO. Like the
I
Great
should watch
Depression.
it.
Yeah. You like people talking about being sad? That's the one.
But I'm sad a lot too. And I don't think I want to watch comedy about being sad.
It made me. Same, but it made me feel good. So
I
I
know,
enjoyed
and
it
it's one of
immensely.
those like and no disrespect to Gary Goldman, he's a genius, he's very good, but like I don't want to watch sad comedy. I don't want to watch something where people are like, "Thank you so much for making comedy about this. It makes me feel seen." Like I don't want to watch comedy about that unless it's like if somebody's like, "Oh, Chris Rock makes me feel seen because he's like an important black man in entertainment." Like I want to watch that. But I don't want to be like, I'm sad a lot. And it's like, yeah, I'm sad too, but I'm here to laugh. Like I don't need a lecture on being sad.
It didn't. I don't know. I didn't think it was too like lecture. I thought it was good. I thought he did it well. I don't know. Ray's like note to self: don't fucking watch. I'm
No,
documenting.
I'm
Special.
talking about your buddy's comedy club with somebody. I'm multitasking. Have you done your taxes yet?
Everything besides local. Fuck, I keep forgetting they're due like in 2 days.
Oh shit, that is like very soon. Fuck. All right, I got to do that tonight.
I gotta go read now. I gotta go get the taxes done.
Calculator. I never even heard of it.
Oh. Wow, when you don't see it coming to talk about a good time. When they sneak up on you, holy shit.
All right, that's going to be the
Oh.
clip. That's what we need is like calculators are tough. And then like the next one it would be like the setup and then the punch, you know?
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you just shit yourself?
No, my phone rang, and then my guts are going nuts right now.
Is it a girl?
No, I just like feel like I'm gonna be sick a little bit. It's weird. I had like food poisoning yesterday.
How do we not lead with this?
I don't know. I didn't want to talk about it. It's gross. I just kept pooping. Big old stinking mud pies.
Did you weigh yourself before? That's always something that I like to do when I have like a tummy problem is like I'll weigh myself before and then I'll weigh myself after and be like, this is how much food poisoning lost.
I didn't have. It was like one of those where I was like, I didn't have time to weigh
Mhm.
myself. I was like, this happens now.
What was it that did it?
I had bar chili at like the one day I've been doing like that intermittent fasting, and the one day I just had like bar chili for dinner with
That's a bad
salad,
idea.
and I think it was the chili. Yeah.
Oh, it could have been the salad. Salad gets you salmonella a lot.
Really?
Yeah, like spinach. If there was spinach in it, spinach gets
Yeah, there
salmonella on
was.
it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been bad spinach. You should report that to your local Center for Disease
FDA,
Control.
SEC.
Yeah, they're the most science until they tell ugly people to stop wearing masks.
Fuck them.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. When's the next Modern Kicks comedy or whatever yours?
5/21, baby.
5/21? That's in like a
Yeah.
week.
No, it's 2 weeks.
No,
it's
it's literally a week from tomorrow.
It's a week. All right, fine. You round up. That's 2 weeks.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Who's good at math now?
Well, you're not wrong. So you would round up 8 to 10, and then the closest
14.
kind of week would be 14. So 10 to 14. That's 2 weeks. I get it. I get your
That's math.
logic there.
Math, baby.
Calculators, baby.
Calculator. I've never met her.
Hey, Joe. We're gonna get out of here. So that show at the Winchester. I've got shows. Can I do shows?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm at Comedy on State next Wednesday in Madison. I'll be at Zany's in Rosemont on the 26th. That's a Wednesday. Chris Harvey, are you ready for this? Chris Harvey's doing a show in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Your boy's on it on 5/27. While
Okay.
you're in Sandusky, you should come up since you're right around the corner.
Well, I'm
Um,
on shows next. Oh, this weekend I'm in Sandusky both nights, guys.
5/27, come to that.
To all
I'm
my
at
listeners in Sandusky.
Holla, shout out to Sandusky. In June, I got a weekend at the comedy club by me, Skyline Comedy Club. And then I also have a show with Zoltan in August. So
Oh, nice.
come to that if you want to do that. That'll be in Milwaukee, 15 minutes from my house. Don't have to drive that far to open for him this time, so that's cool.
I have
Um,
flight points, so I might be able to just fly to that.
Yeah, dude, come hang. That'd be a fun
Yeah, that'd
weekend.
be a
I think
fun
he's
hang.
doing another
Yeah.
show that weekend. I haven't asked him, but like if we could swing like a fun like fucking MKE Chicago, and then he wanted to do somewhere else like the weekend or the day after that.
Yeah,
I'll
that'd be
bug him,
tight.
see if that what it is. Maybe get you like 5 on it. Be like, yo, I got a friend who's got this Herbie joke you got to hear.
I'll send it to him and then he can view it. No, that's so weird. I hate sending people clips. I fucking hate it so much.
Dude, I texted him. So like he was talking about it. Like, here's the thing. I listen to my friends' podcasts. I don't think it's weird. I listen to people's podcasts to like know what they're
Not
talking
weird.
about.
Yeah.
I don't want to like, and especially with him, if I'm like opening for him soon, I don't want to like step on something that he's probably going to end up talking about. So like I'll listen to his podcast, and he like kept pimping out this Milwaukee show, and I was like, hey man, do you know who I should send my tape to for this Milwaukee show? And he's like, you could just be on the fucking show, you nerd. And I was like, all right, fine. But I think that's a fun thing to just be like, hey, who do I send this clip to when
Yeah.
it's like your friend that's running it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. I think it's a fun thing to do.
No, it's fine.
But all right. Anything else, Joe?
No, eat your vegetables.
Hey, eat your vegetables, and we will calculator.